Tony Ferguson, Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Holy shit.
Holy shit. That's just a couple weeks away.
That's going to be
Are you
rad.
kidding me?
Are you going to be there for that, Eddie?
Hell yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Hell yeah. It's going to be fucking nuts, man.
Dude.
We're
are
doing.
you kidding me?
Tony is.
That's an exciting fight.
Man.
I know we can't talk about strategy.
Yeah.
But it's a crazy fight between the number 1 and the number 2 contender in that division.
Well, the obvious strategy for Khabib is to try to take Tony down, and the obvious strategy for Tony is to keep it up and dot him up on his feet.
Yeah.
That's the obvious strategy.
Catch him in
Right.
the
That's
transition
everybody
or something.
knows that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How much do you think like opinion changed when he got clipped by Michael Johnson and got wobbled?
People are saying, and I mean, if you're looking at, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Okay,
He's human.
yes.
That's
yes.
really what you saw.
Yeah.
Finally saw as
Yeah,
human.
exactly.
Because for 24 fights, he's
somebody
just
hit him
been
hard.
maul, or 23
Yeah.
fights before that, right?
It
Mauling motherfuckers.
It basically says
Such a
that he
fucking
does.
badass. God.
He's not one of those guys that can take anything.
Right.
You know, there's guys out there that can take any shot.
Yeah.
They haven't been rocked yet.
Right.
We're seeing maybe a little chink, a little tiny chink. Everybody's looking at that. You know what I mean? It's going to give people confidence. But he's so good at taking people down and mauling them. You know, that is the hardest thing to stop.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're doing everything we can to prepare for the best, the worst case scenario, the best scenario. We're doing, I mean, Tony's doing everything, really. Tony's he's a maniac, man.
It's the most fascinating fight in the division for me outside of Conor McGregor versus Khabib.
Yeah.
Those two fights, Conor McGregor versus Khabib and Tony Ferguson versus Khabib, those are the two most exciting fights in that division, in my opinion.
Without giving anything away, everybody knows based on the past that Tony can seriously choke anybody out.
Yeah.
Like any wrong move on the ground, and he could hit that Darce from any position, and it just keeps
hits it in
growing.
transition
It's
so
growing
well.
and expanding, and he's become so unorthodox on his feet, on the ground. He's pulling guard, flying Imanars. He's all over the place. He's doing gymnastics. He's doing flips. He's doing.
What's that
he's
thing
doing
he's doing with the
everything
weighted
now,
ball?
dude.
What's
He
that
does
weighted
everything.
ball thing?
I don't even really know. I try to do it in Big Bear. I'm like,
He
I'm
does
not
like
into
he takes
that.
a bowling ball, like
Yeah.
a steel bowling ball, and he does all this crazy, like almost like dance moves
Dude,
with it. It looks
he
cool
brought
though.
a Wing Chun dummy up to Big Bear. He's into Wing Chun. He's into everything. Everything, man. He is a true South, and that wasn't like a joke. That Wing Chun. He's really into it. He trains like no one I've ever seen before. Just hours and hours, just out in the front. Up in Big Bear, he built everything: the bags, the stands, everything. He builds everything.
Does he have a house out there?
He's the ultimate MacGyver. No, he rented it and built it the first 2 days. He brought it all out, dude. He's like the ultimate MacGyver, construction. Carpenter.
He can build
Look at
anything.
this, Sarah McMahon with the takedown right
She
away.
just seems
She's
so
such a
fucking
gorilla.
strong. Damn.
Dude, when I put my hands on her, you know, like when I put my hand when I
Yeah.
interview her, her back is like Gleason T-bows.
Yeah.
She's a gorilla.
Yeah, look at
She's
this.
stupid
A fucking
strong.
woman.
Stupid strong.
Olympic silver medalist, right?
Yeah. There's Tony working with that weighted ball.
Yeah.
It's just what a weird way of working out. Like he does all these strange moves with it. Like, did you ever ask him like what his philosophy is behind
His
doing
philosophy is obviously he believes in movement training, you know, because this is all just like some crazy capoeira, but with a steel ball. He's doing this all day.
Yeah.
He
It's
does.
all just weird
He always just
dance
mixes
moves.
it up.
Always
and then,
doing something?
Yeah, he's always doing something.
Boom, shalak lock, boom.
What's going on?
Tony's going to be
after
very
this?
hard to take down, and if Khabib takes him down, he's got to be really worried about them chokes that we've already seen.
Yes.
So he can't just take down Tony like he did Michael Johnson and not worry about legit chokes from all sorts of
And
places.
that's the thing. It's all in the transition.
Yeah.
It's,
I'm
it's
so
fucking
interested.
Tony's
so
got great
slick.
guillotines too, and great marcellitines.
Yes.
And if he raps, he's always looking for darces. So Khabib, you know, he's one of the best grapplers in the UFC, no doubt. He may be the best at grounding and pounding and controlling you like a legit high-level black belt.
Yeah.
He passes. Who knows how it's going to match up against Tony, man, but we're preparing everything we can. We're doing everything we can. I don't know how it's going to look when it's all said and done, but we're doing the best we can to prepare for the worst-case scenario. Who knows what's going to happen, but The one thing's for sure is one mistake on the ground and Tony's going to wrap your neck up.
Yes.
But this motherfucker as well. I mean, one mistake on the ground and Habib Nurmagomedov's going to fucking break your arm. He's a freak, and that's why this is so interesting, because Tony's a freak too. And like when you see Tony fucking up Rafael Dos Anjos here, I mean, man, Tony Ferguson easily could have been the UFC lightweight champion of the world. If he caught Rafael Dos Anjos when Dos Anjos had the bell, he could have got him. And you know, Tony, I think Tony could do that to anybody. How did he beat Barboza? Did he just choke Barboza?
Yes.
Yeah, he darced him, right? Yeah. That was it right there.
Hurt him standing and then finished him off on the ground. It was perfect.
Tony's something special. And that's why this fight is so interesting, because Habib is obviously something special. He's the only guy that's in a contender that has been fighting the best guys in the world and is undefeated as he fights for the title. That's so unheard of.
Yeah.
Everybody's got one or two. Everybody's got early in their career, they've got a fight or two that they lost, but he's one of the very few guys that has only shown one moment in his entire career inside the octagon where he really didn't look so good. And that was a brief moment where Michael Johnson hit him. Obviously, he recovered from that and came back
after
and
that, he
smashed
him.
Smushed him. It's just when he gets guys on the ground, it's almost like he's a different weight class than them.
Yeah. There's levels, thousands of levels of being heavy. And he's super heavy. He sticks on you. He's a great
tiny,
passer.
I saw him in person this at my fight. The fight that was supposed to happen.
His passing,
he's not that big.
His passing from full guard or to like open guard right into, he forces a Z guard or a quarter Z like right away. His movement to set up the half guard that he's going to try to pass, brilliant. His knee slice is brilliant. His mount, his control, that crucifix move, man, he's a black belt.
Yes.
Everybody knows it. Very few people do it.
Yeah.
He's always looking for it, and obviously he's, you know, if you look at his earlier fights, he's got triangle chokes. I mean, he could finish you off your back too. Yeah. So that's a tall order for Tony. But believe you me, Tony is looking pretty damn good to me right now on the ground. So it's going to be crazy seeing how it all plays out.
I'm so excited for that fight.
Dude, my head's going to explode.
Yeah, it's a crazy fight. And it's going to be more crazy for you because you got so much invested in it. You know, for me, as a guy that gets to sit there and call that fight, I'm fascinated just because when you see a guy like Tony Ferguson, you know, he's a problem. Like, how do you solve that problem? Like, what's the solution to that problem? And I don't know what the answer to that is. You know, I would say a guy who can keep the fight standing up and tee off on him and land good strikes. Like maybe a guy who takes advantage of the aggressive style that Nurmagomedov has. But, you know, maybe Tony's that guy. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, as Michael Johnson showed, you can punch him. You can't hit him. You can land a good shot. You can rock him. And I think that, you know, that's going to be the main place to catch him. But if you can catch him, keep him on the outside, you know, you don't want a guy like that who fights that way, that good at grappling, that good at wrestling and takedowns and constant pressure in your face the whole time. You got to keep him outside. And I think Tony's tall enough to do it. Because, again, seeing how small Khabib was last weekend, I was like, man, he's not that big of a guy. You know, I'm a huge fan of his. I think he's fucking awesome. But
what do you think he walks around at? Big. 75, maybe?
Maybe. You know, he just didn't see and you know how the Russians travel. They're always in groups of fucking 100.
Yeah.
So it's always entertaining. They're fucking hilarious. But he just didn't seem that big at all. I was like, wow, huh. That was the only thing that shocked me because he's so strong.
What are you saying, Jamie?
He ragdolls everybody.
Were you saying something? Oh, I'm hearing I thought that was you. The problem with the TV's a little loud. I'm confused.
You would think like he'd be built like Gleison Tibau,
right?
To ragdoll people like that.
I think the Gleison Tibau thing only works without USADA.
Yeah.
You know, when Gleison got popped and they found like a bunch of different shit in him, they're like, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, if anybody was gonna get caught, Gleison Tibau looked like he was 300 pounds and he was fighting 155. He was so fucking big.